Ooh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Friday, the 6th of January, 2023. And if you're wondering why it's so dark and spooky looking here in the office, it's because we played Resident Evil. We played Resident Evil 1 remake tonight. I almost said Resident Evil Revelations for some reason. So we had kind of creepy mood lighting. People really liked it. It actually looked nice tonight on camera for some odd reason, because the other night, or when we played it the other day, it didn't look nearly as good. For some reason tonight, the lighting was actually really good here tonight, and people enjoyed it. It was really dark and spooky with the red lighting behind me, the ambient lighting. So let's talk what happened today on the Level 1 podcast, what happened on the gameplay streams. It was my day back from a break. I had a lot to talk about on the podcast today, so much that we didn't really get through all of it. I mean, it was the debut, or I should say the start of the polling for the Viewer's Choice event, so I explained that. There was a Giant Phil's Day Off segment talking about a botched food delivery yesterday. There were shout outs to be had. A lot of stuff. We covered a lot of stuff, including upcoming improvements here to the streams. Okay, in fact, I have a ring light coming. It was supposed to be Sunday. It's actually now coming tomorrow. So at some point tomorrow, a ring light will arrive. I will try to set it up here and see what it looks like. And see if it improves the stream quality at all. If that's the case, I'll probably never use the big light in the back anymore. The lighting in the office will just be the ring light while I'm broadcasting. Okay, I guess we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so the Level 1 podcast was jam-packed, went all the way to the end, and I was like, man, we didn't even have time to do news because there was game news and stuff we didn't even cover today. So a jam-packed episode. Then, first gameplay stream today, God of War Ragnarok conclusion. We did all the meaningful things that were left over. Every realm tear, every remnant of Asgard, all of the lore items of the game, all right, every single one of them, and the two optional super bosses, the final Berserker King and then the final Queen of the Valkyries. We did it all. And then to end the stream, we did the funeral. I'm not going to spoil exactly whose funeral or what funeral, but there's a funeral that actually effectively ends the story of the game. And it was a beautiful ending, quite frankly. I loved it. The only thing we didn't get to do was all the Muspelheim trials. They are far too grindy, and quite frankly, at the end of the game, there's no point in doing them. You don't get nothing for it. The armor and the items you get, you don't really need. I really feel like the Muspelheim trials in the original God of War were much better. First of all, you could have done them much earlier in the game than these, effectively. And then on top of that, the rewards were quite good. And the end boss was a Valkyrie fight, which you wanted to do because if you wanted to complete all the Valkyrie fights, you had to do it. In this case, there's nothing at the end of Muspelheim. You're literally doing it just to grind and get some armor that's not even as good as the other armor that you found throughout the game. And you don't need the upgrade items anymore. So basically, it's a waste of time. I feel like Muspelheim is way worse. The Muspelheim Trials, that is just way worse in God of War Ragnarok than it was in God of War 2018. But a lot of other stuff is way better. So overall, absolutely loved God of War Ragnarok. And because we now finished it, this means we are full speed ahead for my Game of the Year awards as well as my most disappointing games countdowns. That's right. My year-end series are going to likely be this Sunday. All right. I need to have time to work on it. I didn't have time today. I'm going to see if tomorrow possibly I have time to sit down and make the lists of, games and basically get some of that video footage together for you. Worst case scenario, we'll do it Monday. But I'm thinking I'd like to do it on Sunday. I think more people would be able to be here live on Sunday during the daytime stream. But, I'm a little nervous because tomorrow, basically I would have to cram it all in tomorrow night to have it ready. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do that. I guess we'll see. But yeah, Sunday or Monday is now the year-end series, okay? Tonight's late stream was more Resident Evil 1 Remake. Great. We were past the mansion now. We went to all the stuff behind the mansion, the secret labs and everything, the mutant plant, crazy sharks, crazy shit tonight. It was some of the best stuff in the game, quite honestly. And it was lots of fun. The audience was engaging and interested in fun. Support all day was great. I don't have a single complaint about today. Everything went as smoothly and as well as I could have hoped for a day back after having a day off on Thursday. Podcast was great. Gameplay advanced as much as I would have liked. Support was good. Everything outstanding. Okay? So, thanks to all the live stream viewers today who attended and supported in any way. Let's talk about tomorrow, Saturday the 7th. First stream, Level 1 podcast. We absolutely will do game news. I promise you. It's been days I've been accumulating news stories. I want to do them. So definitely that'll be on tomorrow's podcast. Then Mainstream Pokemon Scarlet Endgame. We just arrived at Area 0, which essentially is the endgame portion of the game. Everyone says it's about 2 hours long. Considering the fact that I'm an interactive streamer, likely for me it'll be around 3 hours, so it should be just enough time to finish the main story of the game. Now, I'm aware people are saying, Phil, but there's post-game grinding content. You have to go back and refight all the gym bosses and all of that. And I'm like, I don't know. We already did a 40-hour playthrough of Pokemon Scarlet. I feel like it's time to move into new content for the new year. I don't know if we want to be playing this another 20, 30 hours to go back and redo this stuff for post-game grinding. I'm not saying absolutely not never. I'm just saying at this point, I think it's time to end the playthrough. So we'll see how we go tomorrow, okay? Then on the late stream tomorrow night, more Warzone 2.0. As you know, the last few Warzone streams have been very exciting, either getting wins or getting super close. Excited to see what will happen. Will I hit some bounties? Will I do well? Will I win another match? We'll all find out tomorrow night, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, all right? And at some point tomorrow, the ring light is arriving. It could be early. It could be late. They're only promising it by the end of day, so it might end up showing up on the later stream. We'll see. When it shows up, I'm going to set it up. We're going to see what it looks like on this thing, and find out. The way it works, like I said, basically the ring light will be right where the camera is, and the camera will mount inside of it. So I just got to adjust slightly the height of the tripod, and I believe it's USB powered, so it should plug in right here on my laptop and go from there and see what happens and if it's any good. I hope it's good. I've never used a ring light before, but you guys have been telling me if you're going to be doing higher grade stuff with a better camera, with this kind of lighting. Like, basically, you need the ring light, the big light, the big, almost like dorm room lamp in the background there is just not sufficient, and it's washing out, and it's doing things that, obviously it's not intended. The ring light should make it so that, basically, I get proper lighting in here now. We'll find out. All right, guys. Thank you so very much. Great streaming day back. Have a good night. I will see you all tomorrow for the Level 1 podcast and the conclusion of Pokemon Scarlet. Everyone have a good evening. See you tomorrow, and peace out.